Dad revealed to me my aunt's unspoken, fucked up secret that I shouldn't even know. Hey internet peeps. 2 nights ago, my dad opened up to me about possibly the most fucked up thing to ever happen in my family. And my dad's side is both ginormous and rather fucked up in all brutal honesty. Though I will save those stories for another time. I can't stop thinking about it. And I obviously can't speak about it to other family members, so let's overshare on Reddit. All names used are fake. For BG info, my grandmother is the oldest of 10 siblings from my gambling-addicted great-grandmother. My great-grandmother had 2 marriages, anywhere between 4 to 5 different baby daddies, and left for weeks at a time to go on promiscuous gambling excursions while leaving her children to fend for and feed themselves, often coming home pregnant. My grandmother essentially raised herself and grew up in deep poverty in Detroit of all places. In the late 60s, she met my grandfather, and soon got married and had my dad and my aunt. Unfortunately, my grandfather decided to partake in a slew of drugs, my grandmother, and steal cars to make money. Eventually, he was run out of the state by the cops and went on all sorts of drug and crime-filled adventures around the country. My grandmother's second ex-husband, Harold, came into their lives in the late 70s when my dad was 10 and my aunt Victoria was 8. They then had my dad's younger half-brother, Harry. When Victoria was a teenager, she began having a sexual relationship with her stepdad, Harold. However, I have known this for years already from my dad. When my grandmother found out that they had been sleeping together for a few years, she immediately divorced Harold, and my family cut Victoria out of their life. I did not know about my Aunt Victoria and her 3 sons until I was 10. The year my aunt and grandmother made up after over a decade of silence. Victoria had been cheating on her high school sweetheart and future husband the entire time, and while turbulent they are both still together. Apparently, her oldest child, Carl, is actually the child of Harold. My aunt accidentally conceived a child with her stepdad, and my dad was the only person who knew this secret besides my aunt. Carl does not know the truth, and certainly has no notion of that being a reality. In fact, Carl is named after his presumed father, Victoria's husband, and they are referred to as Big Carl and Little Carl. Harold, who died in 2011, did not know this either. As I have gotten older, my dad has begun opening up and being honest about dark family secrets. Take my word that my dad is an extremely private and secretive person. He detests the drama slung within his ginormous family, disassociates with the majority of them, and actively avoids family and social events. My dad wishes to live in solitude and peace, and has no reason to say something untrue. I haven't been able to stop thinking about this since. I have been comparing pictures of little Carl, Big Carl, Carl's now apparently half-siblings Rico and Alex, and Harold. The resemblance between little Carl and Harold is both uncanny and shocking. They share facial, height, weight, and hair similarities. Even when I was a child and first met them, I remember telling my dad how Rico looked way more like Big Carl than little Carl did. I can only imagine what my dad thought, and how hard it was to keep his mouth shut until a decade later. This means that little Carl never knew/met his true father, Harold, is half-brothers with his uncle Harry, and unfortunately has the DNA of both of my grandmother's shitty ex-husbands. Surprisingly, little Carl is actually a quite kind-hearted and hard-working individual who heavily loves and respects our grandmother. I feel so bad that I know this and little Carl doesn't. Yet it's not my place to tell him in any capacity, and I have no idea how he would react or what would happen to their family. I'm sure they all know that their mom slept with her stepdad, since it's why she wasn't in contact with their grandmother for most of their life. Also, this is the cherry on top of the story. It gets more fucked up. The youngest brother, Alex, is over 10 years younger than his brothers Carl and Rico. According to my dad, Alex is actually the son of Big Carl's younger brother. I don't know who Big Carl's brother is, or what he looks like though. Again, None of them except my aunt, my dad, and I know this now. I don't know how my dad knows this, or why the fuck my Aunt Victoria would have a child with someone besides her husband within their extended family twice. Now I understand why my dad resents my aunt. But holy shit, do I feel bad for my cousins for the fact that they will probably never know the truth. Feel free to ask questions for clarity. Let me know if you are interested in hearing more of my family's skeletons in the closet.